All right, well, at America Trends, we only talk about what your social media says is trending. So let's get right back to it. Valentine's Day trending today, and some of you may know that I actually did my dissertation for my PhD on what makes love last through the lifetime, and that's why I'm so excited about this segment. Whether we are single or married or somewhere in between, we all have our stereotypical ideas on what Valentine's Day should look like. Picnic in the park, bottle of wine, diamond earrings, romantic card with just the right words. Well, turns out that whatever you may think makes the perfect love story might be the reason why love doesn't happen in your life the way you planned. Unfortunately, Valentine's Day comes with so much heartache for some people. But my next guest says that all that pain can be avoided by simply knowing how your partner gives and receives love. Here with me now is relationship expert and the #1 best-selling author of Fine to Fab, Lieberman-Wang. Lisa, welcome to America Trends.
Well, I'm excited to be here, Dr. Gina. It's a great topic and one so many people can feel better about in the next day or two and not have to get the heartache they usually do have, right?
Oh, I know. I'm so excited to talk to you about this because I really think there are little keys to unlock that you've given us. And I have to confess right up front, my love language, it's gifts. And since Andrea Kay brought me this tonight, I'm feeling very loved. But that's how I give and receive love. But you say that if we don't get gifts for Valentine's Day, it doesn't mean your partner doesn't love you, even if it might feel that way to you. Explain it.
Well, that's the case. A lot of times the way we actually show love is the way we want to receive it. And the things we complain about the most are the things that we want the most. So when we're not even sure of someone's love language, or which is really where love stories come from, is the fact that we're already telling people what we want, but most of the time our partner's not listening. And I think that's important. We understand that we have different love stories, and just because you love to receive gifts and presents and your significant other doesn't do that and they think just by being with you means they love you, it's understanding what their love language is as well, or their love story is, so that you can see and appreciate they're doing what they know, and it really requires us to communicate better.
Okay, but you've made this really simple, Lisa. How many love stories are out there, and how can we know where we fit in our own love story?
Well, the love stories, there's 5 love stories, and I say that, just like I said, it's an offshoot of the love languages because we change our love story. You know, there could be those that their love story is doing good deeds. You know, if you like to have coffee in the morning and your significant other makes you coffee without asking, or turns around, takes out the garbage, or does something just because they know what's important to you, those are people who do deeds of kindness or actions of kindness. That's important to me, where some people need to hear and speak words of love, you know, saying that you're wonderful, you're fabulous, I love you, and using honey and sweetheart and all those other things, and need to hear all those positive affirmations from their significant other. For some people, it's about being present. And, you know, that was a really big one for my husband, and I didn't actually understand it because I'm thinking we're together 24/7, but to him, being present meant no distractions, no phones, nothing else that I was doing, right? And it doesn't mean it takes up a lot of our time. It just means that, you know, really get everything else aside for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever the case is. And then finally, you have, you know, physical affection, where a lot of people don't realize that if you're with someone who loves to just hold your hand or just to caress you or be there, you're sitting and watching a movie and they need to be on top of you, not even near you. They need to be so close and touching. That's somebody who physical affection is really important to. It's not always the intimacy people think about, but just need to be touched. And then the last one is presents. Like you said, you love to get gifts and presents, and, you know, most likely you're the one who's always giving it, but people think presents are Tiffany's and you need to have the diamonds and everything else. The idea of presents comes into effect when it's about the fact that someone took the time to think of you, to do something, to go out of their way to find something that would make you happy.
Exactly. But, you know, Lisa, sometimes you can run into problems in what all sounds very romantic, but where do we go wrong?
Oh God, where do we go wrong? We go wrong by getting into our head and not in our heart. You know, I always say, when you're in your head, you're dead. When you're in your heart, you're smart. So the biggest thing is to get out of your head and get into your heart. Most of the time people are getting upset with their their significant other because they didn't do something that they wanted them to do. And instead of being in your head with the rules and beliefs and stories that you think they should have, could have, would have done, you need to go into your heart and look at what they did and appreciate and love them for where they're at, and avoid those arguments or divorces or breakups and everything else that come in Valentine's Day when somebody's expecting a present and they think, you know, the present might have been a nice bracelet and they're thinking, where's the diamond ring? You know, that might be a challenge, right? So look at the effort of what somebody is doing. Again, get out of your head, get into your heart.
But, okay, here's where the rubber meets the road now. So if my love story's not the same as my Valentine's love story, how can we both feel fulfilled on special days, especially like Valentine's Day?
Well, I think the first thing is to communicate beforehand. You'll know your significant other's love story by how they give you love. And if you pay attention, they're giving you love, you'll actually start knowing what they need. And you can pay attention in the ways that you'll start doing things that they want, where it might not be important for your significant other to get gifts, but you might find that for them, it's really about physical affection, and you need to be just more conscious of being next to them and holding their hand. Or maybe it's the fact of something else where we're always doing what we know to actually listen, watch, hear, feel, do what your other significant other needs is really what it amounts to.
Okay, and then there are those who are going to spend Valentine's Day solo. We've all done it. What should they know as they navigate their way to their own love story?
Well, the first thing I think everybody needs to do is learn to fly, and fly stands for first love yourself. And a lot of times we feel like we're not enough, and we think that if we had someone, we'd be great. The truth is that if you first love yourself, you know, when you meet that right person in your life, you won't be looking for them to fill you up. I love the expression, they say 1 + 1 = 2. Well, in my world, 1 + 1 = 11. And when you come whole, the best relationship is two whole people coming together to make even more versus having someone make you whole. And you have to start with being who you are and not being somebody who you think you need to be to attract the person. And that always comes back to flying, first love yourself.
Well, let me ask you this, though. You always hear that opposites attract. Lisa, do opposite love stories attract? Do they work actually for the long haul?
Well, I don't know if it's opposite love stories. I think that in any case, you'll understand everybody will have a love story, but I've actually seen them change over the years. I've seen people's love story was all about gifts. My husband, when I met him, he was all about giving me gifts, and I do not have gifts in my love story, but he thought that he had to buy love. So if you said opposites attract, we might have attracted, but I actually got him to stop giving gifts. I told him that every day should be our birthday or holiday, and don't do anything for a day you won't do for a lifetime. So I don't know if it's the fact that it's opposites attract or the fact that we grow and love each other, and it's the communication that keeps us together.
Okay, we're almost out of time, Lisa, but I can't let you go without asking you this one that is just burning in me. Really quickly, if your love story is about presents, does it mean you're shallow? Or if your love story is about being present, does that mean you're high maintenance?
Okay, if your love story is about presents, it doesn't mean you're shallow. It's about the fact that you believe that someone's taken the time thinking of you. It doesn't have to be the Tiffany bracelet or the diamonds. If it's about being present, it's not high maintenance. It's about the quality of the time you're together and really the intention.
And quality definitely matters. Thank you so much for being with us. Lisa Lieberman-Wang, she is a relationship expert, and her book, Find to Fab, you can find her on her site, findtofab.com. Thanks for being with us, Lisa. We have more America Trends coming at you right after this. Stay where you are.